Hey everybody, Brian Leonard, Executive Director at Hasbro Studios again.
Robert Fuchs from Hasbro Studios.
Hey again, Woody, Director.
Jason Thiessen, Supervising Director.
Nicole Oliver, Princess Celestia, and Cheerilee.
Kathy Westlock reading for Spike and the Mayor.
Andrea Libman, Peekaboo!
Oh, Mayor Andrea.
Tabitha St. Germain, actorette.
Daniel Ingram, songwriter.
Rid, Director of the Art.
Director of the art.
I make the art.
Director of the art, as the Raven said.
What's this episode about, Jason?
It's about the dresses again, and
You men sitting there
It's-
making dresses.
it's a lot of dresses.
Hey, that's
Good
nice.
job. Good job.
Look, it's the Apple cart.
That looks good.
That was a good design that
Ted
Rid
Wilson.
had something to do with.
Mice in the
Ted
maze.
I hate when there's
Mice.
mice in my hair. Don't you, Tabitha?
Mice
When
in
you
the
wake up and
maze.
there are mice in your hair.
We actually used this section of storyboard of the script as a test for our storyboard artists that
Oh,
we
that's
hire,
right. Yeah.
and we see how well they
gave
do.
them
We pick the best one and put it on the air.
We don't pay them. No, we do.
Just kidding.
Wow.
Those were different designs. Those horses were horse mice.
Right, yes.
Horse mice?
They were mice
Mice
made
and
into
Morses.
horses. So they had like a little mouse
Heist.
muzzle.
They're heist.
They're mice.
Oh, and there's a weird glitch in that last scene.
Oh, yeah, that was famous.
That very famous glitch. Don't say it, but I
What very
like it. It was
famous
funny.
glitch?
Jen Regan.
Yes.
Whatever.
Layout.
So
artist.
this is storyboarded by Lee Liao and Kenny Park, and there's a big song number in this one that Jocelyn, my wife, did again.
Storyboarded.
She storyboarded, yeah.
And she wrote it
didn't
too.
write it. No.
And she sang
storyboarded.
it.
Well, she did.
And she tweeted
Yeah.
it.
Anyway.
Lee stepped out of. He didn't want to do the song, so Jocelyn stepped up again.
It's a lot of extra work, man.
It is.
a lot
It's
of
so much work. And she did a
Fun
good job.
work.
Oh yeah,
Everyone loves.
of course.
Andrea, are you
And
more
Sarah Wall's the producer.
Andrea, are you more Pinkie Pie or Fluttershy?
Oh, good question.
I can answer that.
What's your answer, Kathy? What's your answer? What's your answer?
What does your Twitter account say? Specializing in treble
And trouble.
and trouble.
Trouble and treble.
Yeah.
I like how this sequence is showing them getting dressed, and Rarity doesn't want Spike to see, but like they don't wear clothes normally.
I just
So
noticed that.
what's she hiding from?
That's a trick.
I don't want to see before you put your eyelashes on.
Exactly.
She
I love
wears
the
false
straight hair.
eyelashes.
It's kind of twirled like purple bark. You know, like very nicely.
Oh yeah,
A very, very fine bark. The
silken
finest
bark.
kind. Silken bark.
Ooh, looking spiffy.
Yeah, look at me. I'm awesome.
And they're being pulled by a couple of horses, ponies.
They're
They're not
mice.
horses.
Is that
they're
considered?
ponies.
Is that just
Male ponies.
Male ponies? That's right.
Close talkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have to be seen in that.
I know.
that window.
Awkward.
Very helpful.
Funny how all the male ponies are subservient
I know.
to the rest of
It's a
matriarchy.
lower
It
status
is.
to pulling the
It
pony.
is a matriarchy. They're ruled by a
Matriarchal
princess.
society.
Well, if there are men around, they should take
Look
out
at
the
look at
rubbish.
that. Look at all those ponies.
Somewhat
they're
like
being
a
Everybody
Roman
in this
Empire.
show has to be dressed up in a costume of some sort.
A crystal hoof.
Yeah.
Shoe.
And here's the big reveal of their
ah.
dresses. Wow. Spike can't believe what he's saying.
Worthy role.
And here's that big song.
Yeah, that was just an example of walleye action.
Yes, it was.
But we're coming up to scenes where, you know,
Oh,
many
no.
layout artists suffered.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, wow.
Animating
Tricky.
ponies in costume is an extra challenge, so we give them extra claps on the back to keep them going.
No, this was probably the biggest song of the season. I think from a pure scope perspective, we had orchestra, guitars, rock band, like everything in the arsenal went into this song.
And the choir.
And choir, 6 soloists.
Yeah.
And I remember in the recording session with the choir, Sarah Wall and Jason, I think you were there as well, sort of looking a little bit aghast, going, "We're gonna have to board. We're gonna animate this.
I know. I blame you a little bit because you pushed the song so epic and
right.
really
How
inspire
many
us.
people in the choir? Sorry.
But you know what? That's one of the appeals, though. It's taking it back to the musical.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's people love it.
But how many people were in the choir?
Yeah, I wanna know.
I want to know.
I think about 40 people. It was actually Michelle
Wow.
Krieber's mom,
Wow.
Monique Krieber, and she was here, and we didn't have a budget for a choir, and she was asking me how it's going, and I'm like, I need to figure out a way to make this song really huge, just to really upset Jason, and and she's like, well, I have a choir I work with, and they're free, and I'm like, let's do
Mission
it.
accomplished.
So yeah, for season 1 there, we actually managed to get. And it was an amateur choir, but they just did a phenomenal job. They're just a community choir here in Vancouver.
That's
And
fantastic.
we brought.
What's their name?
I don't actually. I feel
we
bad. I don't know. I don't know what their name
Michelle
is.
Krieber's mom's choir.
Yeah, Michelle Krieber's mom.
But there's a
Yeah,
lot of
the
artists that are up for the challenge that you present. You know, they really are inspired by it, working on a show so epic.
Well, that's it. They just knew it was going to be. They just did it for the fun. They just said, "Well, we'd love to try it." It was just one song, and they didn't have a huge part, and it was something that they could really. We got to record it at Brian Adams' studio, which is only about 2 blocks from here at DHX. Is that bad? And it's like exciting to be in a place that's like they feel like rock stars, and you're recording this big song, and I think they had a lot of fun.
Was Brian there?
He was not there.
In spirit.
You'd think he would show for My Little Pony. But
I mean, hello.
I know. Where has he been?
He'll show up now.
He's in London.
Yeah, this is pretty big with all these marching ponies.
One thing that's good in Flash is that you just have to do lip sync once, and then you can just copy all those bits of information to each pony, so that
So it was easy, right?
Oh yeah,
just that part.
except for when you have that many ponies in a scene, like you set one key and you go away, have coffee for 20 minutes, and you come back and move to the next panel now, because it's just so heavy with the amount of detail, but we get it done. At the gala. So this episode, I think this is only the second time we've really gone to Canterlot.
Gone to Canterlot. I was just gonna say it's
Only the first episode at the beginning, and then now the last episode. So this is all
We talk
new.
about it quite a bit.
Yeah, this is Phil Caesar, I think. didn't
Phil
he?
Caesar, and Kelly DeVries.
Yeah.
Color.
Yeah, she did color. So there was a lot of new locations we had to make for this episode.
Yeah.
It was tricky because all new locations, all new costumes. Everybody's in costume. There's new ponies, animals.
It's a challenge
Song.
for me and Jason to organize everyone's contributions to a new environment as well. Like the storyboard artists will just come up with something in the background. They'll just throw in an awesome looking building or something, but then we have to think about the big city, the whole floor plan of the city, and make sure it's all working.
Yeah. Oh, rarity.
Love that.
Prince Blue Blood.
Oh,
Yet it's for himself.
it's
Yeah.
so hard to find a quality pony.
This is one of my favorite Fluttershy episodes. This scene here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the other side of Fluttershy.
It's her descent
What you
into
were talking about when you might get dangerously close to going into Pinky territory, because she does lose
That's
her
right.
noodle a bit.
Yeah.
Tough to get her to yell without
Yeah.
getting away from Fluttershy. but-
yelling kind.
Yeah, the soft scream.
That took a lot.
Soren and his pie. There's a lot. This story was pretty complicated too, because there's so many different. There's 6 different storylines going on,
Very many
and they're
levels.
all
Crazy.
intertwined, and they had to fit into each other.
Who was that?
Could have been me. Probably one of us.
Now, if Rainbow Dash did become a Wonderbolt, would she have to have an orange mane, like a flaming mane? Oh, is that? Oh no, it's only the one.
Why would she?
Ooh, good
Oh,
band
because I saw
name.
there's a couple of them. Oh, is that
It'd
no?
have to be flaming, but
Yeah,
I don't
do
know
they
about the
die?
color.
That's just.
They never do.
Spitfire's
No, they've all got
color.
their own hair,
That's
yeah.
just her. That's what she looks like. But they're wearing like a kind of like a skin tight flight suit.
Oh, okay.
So their natural manes will
Skin
Yeah.
tight,
Skin
huh?
tight flight suit.
Yeah.
Pony
well,
decks.
well, you don't want to black out while you're pulling 4
I
Gs.
think they're
You
But-
thought of that.
Andrea just said pony decks. That needs
Well, that's
to be
because
highlighted.
Jason said it
Oh,
earlier.
did he?
Yeah, he did.
Not spandex, but pony decks.
Pony decks.
And there's someone playing the bass.
The
Oh,
famous
yeah.
Octavia.
Octavia, that's.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't name her.
Becoming
I don't
There's
know
the
who
bounce.
Yeah.
Woo, the
Oh, this
bounce.
one had more than one song too. There was this song, and
Which one is this now? Is
the
this-
grand.
The one I couldn't get out of my head for
Yeah.
about 5 months.
there's a lot of those.
I'm not thinking around. Oh, right, okay.
Ruining the
Uh-huh.
the hoity-toity gala. This is like the prom night only for rich people or something.
They might have given me that melody as well there, Kathy, that one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is one of those episodes that gives you a good life lesson too, right?
Right.
Putting things up on pedestals in your mind. And
Was that Prince Blue Robe? Was that Trevor again?
Let's hear.
Can't remember who did that.
Was it Vincent?
I don't know. It might have been
Yeah.
Vincent.
Vincent Tom,
Yeah,
yeah.
Vincent Tom.
Oh.
Yeah, I think. Don't know for sure.
Hey, I recognize that voice.
yeah, who the heck was that now? What's the name of that character that we drop in every now and again, Rid, with the big hat there? The
Hayseed Pony.
yeah.
Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
he's one of my
Hayseed Pony?
favorites. I designed him early on, and I designed him without a cutie mark because he had a blanket over his back. And well, you'll see later. I've been asked a few times what his cutie mark is, and I will reveal it soon. Or maybe I won't. We'll see.
Leave it a mystery.
And he had a
this was
hat
a lot
too,
of
right?
Walla.
That
Like
was-
the pony ties.
Walla
Walla, 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 walla,
Just like now.
Yeah, and here's more like dignitary ponies we had to design with their outfits.
I love moments like this where it's going back to that main thread of the story again. This is Twilight learning another lesson, on her way.
Well, they're all kind of learning something in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That guy with the bottom teeth, that's so funny.
Must be
I
British.
like these.
Nice cuts, nice cuts.
Yeah, great jump
The
cuts.
little jump cuts, yeah.
Very clever.
A tall.
This
Poor
was
thing.
this was tricky to edit too because
Yeah.
there was so much story and but it was kind of long too, so we had to find clever ways of trimming it down without losing the core of the story.
Mark Kuhnel is always there to help us with that stuff too. He's
Yeah.
a great editor.
I think we had Aaron this season.
Oh,
too.
of course. Yeah, this was
Yeah.
Aaron.
Oh, they're
getting
bucking up now.
intense.
Yeah. I like all those backgrounds.
Yeah, me too.
Color cards are great.
Photoshop.
And reuse.
Yeah. This
By the way, has
six-way
that trap
split.
ever worked in history?
It has for a survivor.
Well,
She's serious now about getting these
Yeah.
animals.
She's starting to lose it a bit.
can't you see her
I like her
eye is
hairdo.
twitching?
Yeah. It's tricky when they turn their heads sometimes. We have to figure out, what the other side. Oh, there he is.
It worked.
There's the guy.
And his hat. What is his hat inspired from, Rid? There's a story there, right?
Can I say it? Yeah, it's Lauren Faust's husband, Craig McCracken. One of his characters had a hat like that, and I love the character, so I said, hey, why not? It's her husband, right?
And he gave the nod. He gave the nod of approval.
I'm sure he did, yeah.
That sounded like you, Tab.
That was you,
Yeah.
Ted.
Yeah.
That's always fun when they're like, okay, so what we need you to do now is fly through the air,
Yeah.
wave your hoofs a few times, and land. Go.
Okay, I guess it would sound like.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell when you guys do it too. I'm thinking in my head, is that actually what we need? So I try and imagine the animation while you're saying it to make sure it matches. I'm always studying the script as you guys are saying stuff,
And then you're left in awe.
and I'm like, I can't even imagine how awesome it is.
Then the storyboards get rewritten, and redrawn.
Pinkie Pie's got another song coming up.
It's such a sweet band. Tuba, harp, and
Yeah.
double bass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to Will had to write this song using those instruments. I said, you're limited to these 3 instruments.
That's right.
It has to
But they
sound
look
legitimate. Yeah.
Didn't we use the same band members for like the Square Dance band too?
I'm not
Multi-talented.
sure. Yeah. I call this guy with the turtleneck like the Carl Sagan pony.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause it kind of reminds me of him, and he's got the telescope. So.
Billions of ponies.
Blue dot.
This song is, of course, based on Hokey Pokey.
Right.
And I remember, it's funny, a lot of email people asking me, like, oh, how did you come up with that tune? And you're like, you don't, I think actually, though, the Pony Pokey is becoming more popular than the Hokey Pokey in the new generation.
We had to get clearance for that.
We had to
didn't
get
we?
special clearance,
Yeah.
And
How old is that? Does that like go back to the 20s?
I guess it goes back a long way, because a lot of people seem to not remember it.
I think there was a different tune for an updated Hokey Pokey. Maybe
There's a
that's
few.
why.
There's
Oh,
a few
yeah.
different tunes.
Well, this is the one I remembered from the roller derby that I used to go to when I was a kid.
I love
Yeah,
this.
this is the original.
Coming up.
Yeah.
wait, I'm just trying to picture that. That's good.
Oh, yeah. I rocked it.
Did you have pom-poms on your skates? Because I did.
You did?
I did.
Is that Olivia Newton-John damage?
There was Pony Decks involved.
Nice.
I love that long. Oh. I can't believe that they're in their dresses for the entire episode, and we had to animate them wearing those things all the way through.
It's like a whole new character.
I did, yeah, and more, because there's so much more secondary action that we need to think about, and how they turn, and all the angles that you guys in the design department had to do.
Yeah.
So detailed.
Yeah, and it all worked.
Royal lips.
Those are-
Yeah.
That's Vincent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Vincent.
that's fantastic.
Sounds great.
He's a silly, silly
Oh, he's
human.
funny. So talented too.
Often these props would make me hungry.
Yeah. Really?
Although,
Oh, I love this part with Fluttershy being, she's going insane. here.
There's the twitch, the eye
She's
twitch.
got the eye twitch.
The eye twitch. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh
She's
no.
downright evil now.
It's always the personality that can dictate how cartoony to go with something.
Yeah. It's always good to push the voice as far as you can. Let us pull you back.
A lot of times you keep it. That's what's so
Yeah.
surprising.
Well,
Like
depends
you
on
do
the...
something, I'm like, I'm just gonna go wild, and you're
Yeah.
like, that was great. I'm like, really? Are you
Well, your
sure?
character allows for it, so...
I know, because it seems we get away with a bit more.
We do. We get away with a lot.
I don't know if I can say this, but the original temp score we had there was House of Pain. We had that in the animatic.
In the animatic, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I thought it worked so well. I wish we could have kept it, actually, but obviously we couldn't.
We've used a lot of great scores from other things in the animatic.
Yeah. Well, Aaron,
Aaron, yeah.
what was his? Saunders. Yeah, he had a whole library of scores from movies that he would pick through and put in the animatics.
He had a gift for finding
And
just
he found
the right one.
just the right one, and I was like, oh, I get tempitis because I wanted to hear that actually in the score.
That statue there is a reference back to the pilot or the first episode
Oh,
of
yeah.
the illustration
Oh,
sequence.
yeah.
Just
That's
wanted to
right.
Tie that in somehow.
continuity.
It's the continuity of the pony art, ancient art.
Mythology and all that good stuff.
Tapestry stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
My favorite part of the whole series, the illustration sequence.
And it isn't missed.
Rabbits! Yay, rabbits!
This is so colorful
Everything.
and busy and
Yeah, it's
Every
the
Energized.
mayhem.
Glorious.
Fluttershy is so against character. The glass slipper. I love this part too, where she just destroys it. Never.
I don't need no stinking prince.
There's a lot of girl power in that small
it's
little
true.
gesture. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love the little marshmallow floating in there. It's a good little. That's a little like extra thing the animators like to put in. You know, it just, it doesn't take much.
No. And they remember those details. The viewers,
Yeah, it's good that it's. Oh, look at that! Like 6 ponies in full colored dresses, all in a scene.
Oh, it's a different design. They're all busted up.
Yeah, now they're all busted up. So that's another design.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
And you just push a button for Celestia's mane to keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
came up
spent
with that
moving
name.
time on that.
That's
It's because
that's a Woody.
you spent time with me, Woody. You know my hair does
Yeah.
that
That's right.
naturally.
She came and posed for a
Doesn't he
while.
go with you to your hairdresser?
He does. He does.
It's
Woody.
like toothpaste.
It's like toothpaste.
I'd love to see a
Oh, yeah.
toothpaste that looked, you know,
Well, it probably will
a
be one
Celestia
now.
toothpaste
There will
with
be
the
one now.
toothbrush that you squeeze it and then the. Anyway.
Nothing.
My spines are permanently set.
It's amazing how you can bend Flash to your will sometimes. Find
It
all
just-
those masking
it-
tricks and.
Yeah, it's all about, you know, and it's by hand too. A lot of it, you know, like you just got to do it frame by frame. There's no other way.
Sure was, Pinky.
Season 1.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was fun.